check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
How's it going, guys? Electron Man, hope you're doing good today. I don't know why I hadn't got one in my little old truck, but anyway, I'm gonna put a CB in it today. I don't know, I've got a video if you want to go check it out on these 148s I got, but I got a smoking deal. I found two of them in the garage sale for $2 a piece. Yeah, that's crazy, but anyway, it's probably a little overkill for my truck, but hey, for $2, I'm gonna put the 148 in there. It gives me sideband, kind of cool. Got me a little Wilson little wheel, which I really like these antennas. If you're not running a lot of power, it's a good little old antenna. For, you know, the $50 range, it's about hard to beat. I mean, definitely better than any of that cheap China stuff, and I've always had good luck with the SWR and everything on them. So anyway, we're going to do that, and I bought this little bracket. I'll put all the links for this stuff that I got here, but I got this little bracket for the hump mount for my truck. I think it's going to work great. Just basically adjust it like that and mount it down in the hump, and then I'm going to put my CB bracket on here. So the first thing we need to do is we need to secure this bracket to it. The holes aren't aligned right, so I'm going to use a couple self-tapping screws and just basically mount it just like that on top of there, and that'll get me started, prep for taking it out. And I kind of centered it because I want to be able to get to these screws, because I'm just going to basically put a couple self-tappers down. I got a rubber floor there and a couple self-tappers on the bottom there to hook it to the hump. But when we get inside the truck, I'll show you that. But anyway, kind of to show you the stuff. I also got a little Road Pro speaker. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but depending on how the sound is coming out of that, I might put that up there a little higher, more in the earshot. And got a little Turner mic I added to my 148 here, a little good noise countenance on the mic. But anyway, let me go ahead and get this thing self-tapped and get this ready, and then we'll get out in the truck and start the fun part of this. Okay, first thing we'll do is put some self-tappers in this and get this bracket mounted. I already kind of started this one here, but just lay down here. Which I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with them self-tappers. I didn't know that if they'd go through this thick of metal, 2 gauges of it, but I got this old kit here off of Harbor Freight, I believe is where I got it, but kind of handy to have around. But man, I'm really surprised it's able to go through this like it has. But anyway, let's get that one nice and centered. Not bad going through that metal. I'm pretty impressed. But anyway, now you can see I got my mount all there good. So I'll be able to put my radio in there like that. And should do the trick. So anyway, that's part one. We got that ready. We'll get the truck out. Oh, and I also bought in my truck, when you see when I get in there, it had it's got a couple power ports down there where I'm going to mount the CB. So I went ahead and got a cigarette lighter plug. It looks like a pretty good quality. I'll give you a link on that too. But for powering the CB, a lot of guys say go straight to the battery. Honestly, with this metal mount and I'm bolting it to the floor, I'm going to have plenty of ground on it. And this is, you know, your cigarette lighter's rated for like 15 amps, and this radio might pull 3 or 4. So I mean, we shouldn't have any problem with that. It's got to make sure it fits in there good and you don't have any problem with the connection, which this feels like a good one. I don't think I'm going to have any problem. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Next, let me get out there to the truck and get that started. Okay, guys, I already showed you all the little stuff I got together to do this CB install on my old 2006 Tundra. First thing we're going to do is we're going to set this little wheel magnetic mount antenna I got. I'm going to just set this on the roof here and get this cord unwound here. It's brand new as far as all wound up and everything. The way I do antenna installs like this is like a magnetic mount like this is, I'm going to start at the outside and work in. The reason I do that is because if there's any extra cable, it's a lot easier for me to stash it underneath the interior than it is to try and hide it on the outside. Then you don't want a bunch of extra stuff hanging on the outside of your vehicle. So to me, the best way to do it is to start on the outside and work in. So I kind of got this cord uncooled. I think it's either a 15 or 18 foot cord. I need to get me a little step ladder here, or something to stand on to get up there to get that cab. Hold on a minute, let me See what I can find to stand on. This truck's a little higher than me, and I'm 6'2", so hold on. Okay, found me a little car ramp to stand on. Hopefully that'll get me up high enough. I think I want it kind of back here. Back right. Let me get her centered there. About right there. You can put it, I think, pretty much on anywhere the roof. I'm going to kind of put towards the back. Just kind of where I like, that's where it's located. I really don't think it's going to matter too much on the roof. If your SWR barrel was high, I do have a camp on here. I could move it forward, but I think that'll work. So anyway, we got that part started there. Now we're just going to take the cord and kind of run it behind here. Now this is not what I would call, quote, a permanent mount. If it were a permanent mount, I'd drill a hole in the, probably on the lower cab on the back side, and cut the coax and feed it through, but this is just going to be a down to dirty. So basically I am going to leave a little bit of a loop there just in case I want to move it somewhere else on the roof. And then so I'm just going to kind of get it to where it wraps around right there. I checked the door out and it's not going to pinch there, and just kind of the foam here will fill in where the coax is at, and I'm just going to loop it around there, come on the inside here, and just kind of tuck it behind the plastic here. Like I said, if it's permanent, I'd probably go ahead and drill a hole in the back of the cab back there, but I'm not going to do that on this one. No need to. Hardly anybody ever gets in the passenger side anyway. So get her like this and tucked in there. Like I said, I'll just tuck it in off. I'll show you what it looks like once I get her tucked in there. But okay, I got her kind of tucked in, so you can see. Really, the only place I didn't tuck in good was right in this area right here, which is not going to obstruct anything. Get her tucked in, got her right behind the plastic there, so she's not going to catch anything. And we go get me a screwdriver and pull this little kick panel off here, this bottom kick panel, because that's the main place I need to get it hid behind, and put it underneath that threshold, feed her around, get her fed up there to where I'm going to mount her up there. Wait, let me stop this. I got to go get a screwdriver. Okay, first thing, let's check, make sure I'm not pinching nothing where I got my coax running in there. We'll just shut the door. As you can see, as you can tell, I'm not pinching anything at all. As you can see, I'm not pinching the coax in any way. That's the main thing you want to make sure of, and it's not denting it or anything. And shouldn't have any problem with leaks, especially since I got a double seal here and here. So really, I just need to take this little threshold off here, which I'm one-handed here, but basically I'm going to pull all these screws out here. Actually, let me go ahead and stop this and come back when I got that off. And I honestly don't even have to pull it all the way up. I just kind of lift it up there. Hopefully you can see that. Basically, I just kind of lift it up enough to where I can get the coax fed underneath that edge right there. See there. Just got it fed up underneath that edge. Just tucked right up underneath there. And we'll go ahead and push it back down. That's really all we needed to do there. And we'll come around the inside here. Let's see here, what do we got here? Like one nut on here. Should be able to kind of. Yeah, that's really more than I wanted to do, but anyway, we got her now. There we go. We'll take her all the way. Since I took it that far apart, I'm gonna get her tucked all the way in there. Hopefully you're seeing all this. Doing the best I can, guys. Probably all you're hearing is hearing my breath. So the camera has a makes me sound like Darth Vader at times, but anyway, as you get the idea, I just loosen this little kick panel here. my wire all tucked in there. Which, lengthwise, it looks like it's going to be just about perfect. Actually, it's going to be just perfect. So anyway, now I just need to screw that down. But as you can see, now I have my coax all tucked underneath. So I'll just tighten these screws back down here and here, and we'll get them out in the CB. Be back when we get placing on that hump to one thing, make sure it doesn't obstruct anything. The other thing is to make sure that it doesn't make it hard for me to get it out or anything. Anyway, or somebody to get across here. Basically, get it in the best position. Now I just need to kind of play with where I want that to set, which is really going to be about the center of the hut. More worried about front to back, which I want to get it back as far as I can. But that looks like that's going to be a nice place to mount it, about right there. Cut me a couple screws, put it in there on that side, and hook up the cigarette lighter, which happens to be on this truck. You've got two little ports right here, real handy to hook my to the back of the radio. Let me go ahead and get situated here. I'm going to go ahead and screw that mount down, and then come back and kind of tighten the radio down and do a little check on it. This is not a hard job. It'll take me maybe an hour to do this. I mean, I could have got real fancy and took this back piece off right here and tucked the wires behind there too, but like I said, it's just a mag mount, and I wanted to just make sure it wouldn't get in the way of the seat or anything, which it doesn't. So make it as clean and as simple as I could. Anyway, let me go ahead and get the radio bolted down to the floor now. Didn't get it in there, damn it. There we go. That ain't going nowhere. Get in there. Provided I marked everything correctly, it should just screw right on in there. Kind of awkward. Gonna end up looking. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of the screws in there and back the truck out of the garage and see what my SWR looks like. I kind of pre-tuned the antenna with my VNA, so I'm not really expecting to have to tune the antenna, but we'll definitely check out. Sometimes it makes a difference on what vehicle you put it on and where you put it, so we'll see if the SWR still looks good. Okay guys, and this is probably the most important step, and I want to make sure and clarify, you know, as far as mounting the CB and everything, and it took me maybe an hour to do all that, but the most important part, guys, is use a good SWR meter, or one that you trust, and check the SWR, because I promise you, your mobile mount or your mobile performance is going to be all based on antenna and SWR. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and turn her on here. And I'm already hearing guys talk. That's a good sign. Anyway, first thing we want to do is we want to kick her over to calibrate here. We're going to calibrate her, which I got, as you can see, I got her calibrated. And then the next step we're going to do is switch her over to SWR, and I've got her on a 16. I'll put it on channel 20 and see what the middle SWR is. Oh, beautiful. What are we looking at? 1.1.13. That's sweet. I'll go with that all day long. That's beautiful SWR. And then we'll check, let's go to channel 1, see what we look like there. About 1.5 to 1, still definitely acceptable. And then we'll go to 40. And we're at about 1.5, 1.4. So that's, I'm not going to touch it. We're about the same SWR on channel 1 and 40, so we're covering the band good, and the middle is where it's the sweet spot. It's the lowest in like channel 20. So that's really exactly what you want on your antenna. Like I said, I kind of cheated on this, and I kind of already put the VNA on it, kind of figured I had it. But yeah, I see in the middle there, I'm at 1.2, 1.3. So yeah, this antenna's tuned. These little wheels are great too. It's got one little set screw, and I bonded it out, and I brought it up about 1/4 inch, and that's where I'm at on it. So, you know, I don't know if that'll work for every instance, but that's where this one tuned, and it is perfectly tuned. Let's go ahead and see if we got any noise going on.
Complain about how much water they need. Well, you got it now, bro.
Yeah, I'd say she's working, right, guys? Right there tells you it all. I don't even have the RF gain turned all the way up here.
I think they had to break out 2 shovels and a snow blower.
Yeah, we're jamming, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this all up, and I think we've got ourselves a nice little $2 148.
Alright, I just over here.
Okay, guys, all wired up, all done. Check her out. Can't see none of the cables. I'm pretty proud of this install for a quickie. It took me about an hour to do. It pays to plan though. Buying the brackets, getting the cigarette light adapter, all that stuff, you know. It took me a couple weeks to get everything together and get the right stuff. By the way, I went ahead and put 4 screws in the bottom down there. It was kind of wanting to rock on me a little. Now it's like rock solid. Check it out. Still got my drink cup thing I can use. Still got the ashtray I can still use. And we got CB now.
Hey, courtesy boy, you out there, man?
Let's just do a quick CB check. How about a breaker? How about a radio check? I just got this radio installed in my truck. Just wanting to see if she's working. Hello, audio. Break 19 for a radio check. Just got this installed in the truck. I just need a holler back. Is it working? Hello, audio.
Well, be good, be safe. Rubber side down, shiny side up. 252 with the wheel. We waving there, Blake.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day. Hey, guys, as you can see, she's working just fine. You guys have a great day. As always, please hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up on this video. I thought this might be a pretty interesting one to do and install CB full from back to front on a 2006 Tundra. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I don't sound like Darth Vader too much in it, and as well, man, I know my camera angles. I'm gonna have to do some real editing because I know I was all over the place. You got to be a contortionist in here to get this thing installed, and I was more worried about getting it installed than I was trying to get right camera angles. So anyway, hopefully I get some good content out of this. Guys, have a great day. This is Electron Man.
And the goodie is your personal gator on. Radio station. No problem, man. You get full refund or you run someone else.